Alrighty, y'all. So Nikke ended up extending the maintenance by another 2 hours, bro. If we don't get more than at least 1,000 gems, we're gonna have issues. Cause first off, the update was supposed to come at 9 a.m. Then they extended it to 12 p.m. Then they extended it to 4 p.m. And now, without even posting, they extended it by another 2 hours, so it's coming out at 6 p.m. right? Not only that, they didn't even actually say that the maintenance is getting extended, but what they ended up doing was, I guess, changing up the kit for Bready, right? The tad bit. So obviously this is her new kit and this is what it was before. It is very different. Well, it seems like they just increased some of the numbers and changed some of the wording, right? Obviously before, Bready was giving 50% attack. As you guys see here, she was giving 50% attack buff for 10 seconds when entering a full burst. Now it's 70%, so that's a buff, right? This is also a buff, right? Before it said lingering taste and recommended taste charge speed was getting decreased by 50% for 50 seconds if she got a damage, distributed damage buff or sustained damage buff. Now it got decreased by 20% rather than 50%. Again, that's a buff, right? The damage taken part still seems to be the same, right? 10.2% for 5 seconds. And then the numbers, that's the thing they changed. They nerfed her big time by doing that, right? So the aftertaste used to be 455% of final attack and sustained damage every 1 second for 5 seconds. Now it's 150% of final attack and sustained damage for every 1 second for 5 seconds. So it's like they decreased it by damn near 300%, but also decreased the charge speed requirement from like 50% to 20%. You know what I mean? The attack damage buff, if you're in the recommended taste, you still get it, right? It increased to 60% rather than 40%. And then also the other part is that it got decreased from 503% to 265%. I'm going to assume the fact that they changed all these numbers is when Bready came into the game and this entire maintenance, she was a broken character. Like, she was the best character in the game. Like, that's what I'm getting from this. Like, I can only imagine that she was too powerful and she was like a regular character, way too powerful, that they had to like find a way to nerf her, but at the same time make it seem like she's getting buffed, right? Because there's just no possible way, right? There's actually no possible way that a character is getting decreased in her actual damages, but getting increased in buff, right? Her attack damage buff is 60% now. It's the same thing. Her additional, aftertaste effect is 350% now. Before it was just 300%. And then the attack buff she's getting, if she's in recommended taste, is 70% when before it was 50%. So they buffed her and nerfed her. It's kind of hard to say because it's like, would you say this is a buff or would you say this is this a nerf? Because they buffed up her, like I said, they buffed up her buffs, right? The numbers of her buffs, that got buffed up. But her actual damaging skills got decreased and by a big amount. Like, they gave her a 20% increase in damn near all the buffs, right? But then it's like they decreased her damages by like 300%. So I'm assuming she's more balanced now. But like I said, even before, with all the buffers in the game now, just from this character alone, her kit before was crazy. Like, she would have probably been the strongest character in the game. That's just my assumption because there's no way they did this, right? This is the first time they did this and right before the update actually went out. So yeah, Nikke just actually tweeted the extension as well. Just for the people who are wondering, yeah, they again increased the extension by another 2 hours. Another 2 hours, which is just diabolical, right? In my opinion, it's just silly at this point. Nikke is taking they're doing too much. But should you summon for this character? I want to say let's wait and test her out before, because before I would have said yeah, but again at the same time the anniversary is coming up. Like, we're entering April, and at the end of April we have the half anniversary. So it's like I don't recommend anybody to summon regardless of if the character is broken or not. But they literally nerfed and buffed her, right? They nerfed her damages but buffed her buffs. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think the 20% attack increase and the attack damage increase, I don't think these damage increases are, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. Oh, they also changed the effects, right? Did they? No, it's still, if you land 3 full charge, then you get the damage taken and the aftertaste, right? And then if it's a regular full charge, then you get the attack damage buff. And then also the 200 and 65%. So if you want me to be honest, since they decreased the charge rate by only 20%, you probably just want to go now with the what is it, the recommended taste, which you get recommended taste if you get a distributed damage buff, right? So if you're running her with distributed damage buffers, then you get the recommended taste. If you're running her with sustained damage buffers, then you get her with the lingering taste. My thing is, who are sustained damage buffers? Like, who is it? Because Mana isn't. I think Rosanna is like the only one that comes to mind. The Summer Rosanna is a sustained damage buffer, I believe. And I think favorite item Viper as well. Let me take a look. Sustained damage buffer, yeah. So the Rosanna is a sustained damage buffer. And then I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think Viper is also one as well. Let me just take a look. She is not. She's just a sustained damage character, but she's not a sustained damage. She is a sustained damage buffer, but for herself, not everyone else. So that's what it was, right? So right now, Rosanna is the only one that comes to mind. And then probably Sakura as well. I'm not 100% sure, but let me just, like, it doesn't hurt to see, right? Where is the Summer Sakura? Here. Sustained damage buffers, for herself. Okay. So no, Rosanna seems to be the only one that comes to mind that's a sustained damage buffer, for, like, you know, characters in general. But yeah, no, I do think this is quite crazy. I do think she's crazy. I would say wait for testing, and then I'll let you guys know. But right now, I don't think you should summon regardless because of the anniversary. But in terms of how good the character is, I think the character is going to be very, very good still for recommended taste. But lingering taste, we'll have to see. Especially since it's sustained damage buffing only, right? To proc that at least. I just don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I really wish he didn't alter her kit, because she would have been way broken before, but I feel like they definitely just made her worse because she was too broken. I'm sorry. Her kit did look kind of crazy before. Like, we can all agree on that, right? She deal 500% every full charge with an attack damage buff of 40% on top of a 50% attack damage or attack buff if you enter the full burst, on top of another attack buff, and an attack damage buff when you used her burst skill. Like, she was nutty. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sure Nikke knows that. That's why they nerfed her. She was way too broken before, right? But is it fair that the moment before the update, again, they extend the update again by 2 hours to alter her kit? Is that fair? I don't think so. I don't think you should promote a character's kit and then right before the maintenance is about to end, you say, oh, we're extending it because we changed her kit, right? I think that's silly, but at the same time, it's not like anybody spent money for the character, so it's like, at the same time, people can't complain. But you guys let me know what you think. It's your boy Zxous, I'm out, bro. I would say skip for now, or just hold out on summoning until you get some testing videos, which you will see from me in a few hours. But yeah, your boy Zxous, I'm out. Peace.